Hey guys, it's JC. I am back with the same theme that is in so many other videos, but we're going to take it and tweak it today. I've been thinking a lot about the idea this month about moving from being attached to food for our comfort, for our bliss, for our joy, for our stress relief, for our boredom relief, whatever. That's our attachment. Moving that attachment to Christ. And if you have followed my channel, you know how often I talk about this. In fact, I'll put several of the videos, if you're new around here, there's several links below where I do go into this theme. It's also the entire message of my Satisfied class. So I've said it a lot, I know. That truly to have our hearts fulfilled in the way they need to be, we need to find Christ the way we have previously found food. Otherwise, if we just take the food away and just kind of try to white knuckle it and don't fill that empty space with Him, with His comfort and strength and love and patience and joy, then we'll go right back to that old attachment to food. So today we're going to take a kind of weird twist on it. I've been thinking about some things that can become major roadblocks for us in keeping us from being able to move that attachment, to shift that attachment to the place it needs to be on our Savior alone. I'm going to cover 3 really quick. And I won't have time to go deep into them, but these are all things I think they're not always easily solved. It might be that if it starts stirring in your mind and you think, oh, I kind of do that. I think that's one for me. This might be something that you need to pray over and really ponder and study and read and pray some more and ask the Lord to heal in you. Because some of these roadblocks can be big enough that the adversary works and puts that wall in our way and we don't really see a way past it. So these 3 are all examples of that. The first one, got notes, just so that I remember. The first one I wrote down is, what if we have, and we don't realize this, but what if we have a general misunderstanding of who Christ is? For instance, and we may think, no, I know He's good and I know He's powerful and I know He's perfect and I know, but what if deep in our brain, we picture Him as kind of looking at us like with a scowl on His face, like, seeing all our binges, seeing our weakness, our failure. And what if deep down we truly believe He's disappointed in us, that He's ashamed of us, or that He's condemning us for how weak we are? Or if we see Him as that type of authority figure looking down at us, kind of shaking His finger at us, or disappointed again, are we going to want to attach to Him? Are we going to want to run to Him? Run into His arms? No. I mean, we probably will hold our food close because it is a better friend to us than that kind of God. If that's how we see Him, it could be a lot of different misunderstandings of His true nature. But if we don't see Him as looking at us with loving, understanding eyes, as understanding our mortal weakness and knowing how much we want to be healed and to come to Him and to see Him as one who's reaching out with kindness and wants only to help. Do you see how shifting that, without it, it's going to stay a major roadblock to our healing in this area, in this way. I also think it could be, and this is a huge tangent, so I won't go crazy on this. It could be that we have a parental model, like one of our parents didn't model healthy love to us. And so we take that parental model and we kind of transfer it to Him. Like he's like my dad, or he's like that, I don't know, someone that didn't model it in a healthy way. And so we just assume He's the same way and that he's giving us those same lectures or that same look or that same like silent treatment, or because I didn't measure up and I didn't. Do you see how deep this can go? Do you see why I'm saying this could be something we need to really pray and ponder over and see if maybe we need to dive deeper in Scripture and really let those words bring out His sweetness and goodness and long-suffering and love for us, so that that transcends that misunderstanding of who He is. Okay, so that's one. Another one I thought of, because I've kind of done this. Well, I've done the other one too, but what if the very stressor that's causing us to binge, we're running to the food to cope with. What if the stressor or stressors in our lives that are causing us to run to food, we feel deep down, either were caused by him or he has been unwilling to change them or fix them or help us with them. And so deep down, there's a little bit of resentment for him that he hasn't changed a situation that we really want to be changed, or, given us the answer that we've been begging for. And so instead of running to attach to him, you can see why we would attach to something else. Because again, a lot of times when I've had a little bit of resentment for the circumstances he's allowed in my life, I repress it. It's not like I'm shaking my finger at him in prayer. I'm just quietly, really deeply kind of hurt that he would let me walk this path and not fix it or not change it. And so I distance myself because I'm kind of upset with the way things are going. Maybe I'm giving you TMI. Maybe you're like, seriously, JC, you're messed up. But I'm throwing it out there and being real, being vulnerable. For me, sometimes I've had to drop on my knees and say, help me to get past, I don't understand what you're doing in my life right now. And I don't understand why you've allowed these difficult circumstances. And so I'm kind of upset about it. And I'm not wanting to attach it. I'm not wanting to run to your feet. I'm kind of distancing. And so I've had to ask for healing in that area. So do you see what a roadblock that could be if we're kind of blaming him? I mean, maybe not outright, but deep in our heart, kind of blaming him that something hasn't changed or something isn't better. And so of course we'll go to something like food that never judges and that never disappoints us and that is always there. This is how our brain can get twisted in all of this. It's kind of hard. Okay, last one. And this is the one I've heard from so many people talking in person, coaching in person. It's just the simple idea that, okay, I get that I can attach to him. It's like John 6:35, whoever comes to me will never hunger, never thirst. I can feel your thirst. We can read the scriptures about it, but we don't really know how to do it. Like, what does that even mean? How do I attach to someone I can't even see? Food is right here. I can taste it on my tongue. It's right there whenever I need it. I know right where to go. The Lord is a little harder to pin down, right? Like, I can't feel his arms around me, hugging me, and I can't go straight to his face and talk to him about the things I need to talk about because I can't really, how do I attach to someone I can't even see as strong as I've attached to food because it is right there? That is a difficult question. I think we're so used to, and this is understandable, we all do it. We're so used to coping through the use of our senses because we find joy through our senses. So we love to, tasting, the textures, the taste on the tongue. Food is just one. There's binge watching, I'm seeing, I'm hearing, and music, like all kinds of things we can escape to and get pleasure through our senses. Retail therapy, I'm going to go for a shopping spree. There's a million ways that we have used these kinds of things as coping mechanisms, and they're right there and we can control them. That is in my fridge or in my stash or in my pantry whenever I need it. I can control it. He's a little harder to control and a little harder to figure out. And so we may understand the concept that my soul will only be truly fulfilled as I attach myself and give my whole heart to him and run to him for comfort and run to him for the healing that I need or the comfort or the whatever. I can understand those things intellectually, but then when I try to walk it out in my everyday life, I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. I've talked about this in other videos. You can keep watching some other stuff on my channel, but it's also the reason I've created Satisfied, is to answer that question of how we get from A to Z, how we get from so attached to food that we cannot let go. You cannot pry my fingers off of that chocolate. Even though I want to, they're gripped, they're paralyzed, they're stuck. It's just so deep, and it goes decades, or it just goes so far back, or it goes back to my childhood. Food has always been that for me. How do I get from that place where that attachment starts to break and I finally begin to come to know Christ in such a personal way that his sweetness is sweeter than that chocolate? That is a journey. And it is a bit of a journey. And that's why I have an 8-course session on it, on how we get there. So you can check that out. The link is below, but it's a journey worth taking. So here's what I'm hoping. I don't think those 3 things cover all the roadblocks that we can have, especially the roadblocks that the adversary throws in our way to keep us from finding Christ on this kind of a level. But maybe it started the wheels turning in your mind where you're like, wait, okay, I don't know if I relate to any of those right now, but what is keeping me from making this journey? What is a roadblock for me that's keeping me stuck in an addiction to food or an attachment to food? Maybe even that's the question to pray about and ponder. What is my thing? And at least give it to the Lord so he can say, oh yeah, you got some. You got a big wall. Let's dismantle it so that you are more free to run to my feet. I hope that was helpful today. I'm thinking we'll continue in this direction, but you never know with me. Have a wonderful week.